The earliest evidence on record of dogs dates back over 14,000 years ago. That means for over 14,000 years we have let these animals in our lives. Sometimes they work for us as hunters, herders, or guard dogs. Other times they're just there for companionship. There are over 400 breeds recognized worldwide. It's very difficult to completely determine. There's anywhere between 400 and 500, I guess. But out of all these dogs, obviously there are some bad apples. And I asked our class what they believed the 10 most dangerous dogs were. The most dangerous dogs on most lists include the Chow Chow, the Dalmatian, Malamutes, Wolf hybrids, German Shepherds, Doberman Pinschers, Rottweilers, Boxers, Presa Canarios, and the number one that everybody got was Pit Bull. That dog seems to top every list. Today we'll observe why they are considered dangerous dogs, the profiling that is done, and answer the question, are these dogs really deserving of this reputation? So what makes them so dangerous? Dogsbite.org lists genetics and history. A little bit about their history is that they were first bred as baiting animals, which would mean that they would attack other animals, like bulls or bears, and just for sport. That was banned in the early 1800s, so they turned to dog fighting, and they've been bred specifically for their size and their musculature. These dogs are typically between 14 and 24 inches tall at the shoulder and weigh about 22 to 78 pounds. Their height to weight ratio is what really matters, not necessarily their size. And here we have a prime example of a pit bull. She has a blue nose, and she weighs about 65 pounds and stands up to my knee at the shoulder. So there are also 4 A's that go along with these dogs, which would be their athleticism, which is their energy, and they are very strong. So they like to run, they like to jump, they can easily escape from fences. Some dogs can escape from fences as high as 8 feet. They can dig under them. They can run very fast. They are known to be aggressive. They do have animal aggression, which means that they aren't necessarily people aggressive, but if they see another dog or a smaller animal like a squirrel or a cat, they will go after it. And our third A is their attitude. They're very stubborn, but they are also very smart. They also have very playful personalities, and they love attention. You really need to give them attention if you're going to have one of these dogs. A lot of the fear, because they can cause a lot of damage. The jaw muscles on these dogs are huge, and even when they're playing, they don't realize their own strength. So a lot of that fear leads to breed-specific ban legislation, which means that it is illegal in some cities around this country and then full-on countries around the world to own these dogs. It also makes it harder for someone to get insurance on a home or to rent, because some insurances don't allow these dogs on your policy. While this is all in place, the ASPCA, the CDC, the American Humane Association, the American Veterinarians Association disagree with the bans. They believe that aggression is throughout all dogs, and it really depends on the specific dog's temperament. The ASPCA.org states media sensationalism and hype towards pit bulls and their attacks. Other dog attacks may go in local papers, 1 or 2 papers, but when a pit bull attacks, even if it's not as fatal or violent as some of the other attacks, it becomes nationwide news. A lot of the reports have become unreliable. The American Veterinarian Association says it's difficult to visually identify a breed, and pit bulls vary a lot in their looks because there's so many different size variations in there. You're more likely to be struck by lightning than be attacked by a dog. Another thing that they say. And The American Humane Association says that about 59% of all euthanized dogs are pit bulls, and they are overcrowding our humane societies. So, are they monsters? Our class agreed that they are the products of their environment, that it is how they are bred, how they are raised, that is the big factor in if they become aggressive or not. They do become very destructive when they're bored. I have lost many shoes. My daughter's lost many toys. She's eaten a few things that she probably shouldn't have, and she's gotten sick. She likes to be mentally stimulated. She likes it when you throw a ball for her. Dogs just love to run. They love to play. And if you don't have time for these animals, it's not a good place for them to be. They also need a lot of training and socialization because they are other animal aggressive and because they like to jump. So small children, their size kind of overpowers a small child. Baja here, when she stands on her hind legs, is taller than my 4-year-old daughter, and she weighs twice as much. So she gets knocked over a lot. They also have a higher pain tolerance, which makes them a little bit more kid-friendly than a dog like a Chihuahua, which is tiny and can't take a whole lot of child abuse. Kids pulling on their tails or their ears or jumping on them. So these dogs need to be socialized to avoid bites that would happen because of a child playing with them. But otherwise, they're great with kids and they love them. Before I had Baja here, my sister got her about 2 years ago, and I was wondering why she'd ever want a pit bull, because they are a lot. And now that she's been here, I can't imagine not having a dog like this, not having the perfect dog for us, where she has energy, yet she loves to snuggle, and she just loves to be loved. The biggest thing here, though, is responsible ownership. And if you're going to have one of these dogs, you need to be a responsible owner. You need to be an ambassador. And every time you go out for a walk with a pit bull, this dog will be either make or break another person's opinion of this entire breed, like mine. Because of all these legislations, because of people's fears about these animals, I'm not going to be able to take her with me when I move to my new house because insurance won't cover her. So I would just ask everybody to help fight for these animals and help them get loving homes and help get these bans repealed so people can enjoy these animals as much as I do. Thank you.